Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
He deserved that bat. What an incredible job he's done.
What a shot. Take it all in. Take it all in.
Yeah, courtesy of course, NBC last night. Mike Macdonald, former Ravens defensive coordinator, celebrates after winning the Super Bowl in just his second season as a head coach, the third youngest head coach to ever win a Super Bowl. Congratulations to Mike Macdonald, swell fella. Nothing at all to dislike about him. All the weirdos. This should have been just. I mean, I don't know if it's about getting attention on the internet. If it is, touch grass.
Well, we can't right now.
Find some grass.
That's the issue.
Move the ice and the snow in order to get some grass. If it's just about attention on the internet. If it's not about attention on the internet, and you really genuinely believe there was a world where Mike Macdonald was going to be the coach of the Ravens, then seek help. Like, go see the lady, as Rita would say. You're just living in a bizarro world, man. I don't know how to explain it to you. If your feelings about Mike Macdonald, if you have any feelings about Mike Macdonald, they should be good for you, man. Cool. That's it. List of feelings. End of sentence. And good for Mike Macdonald. It's cool. We can have a deeper conversation about what, if anything, that the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl teaches us about where we are football-wise, or the NFL. Like, is there a conversation to be had about the cyclical nature of the game? Does this prove that, like, the next phase of the game is going to be one where defense matters a little bit more and offense takes a bit of a step back? And my gut tells me probably not. Probably more of an anomaly about this year. Defense is still a good thing to have. This notion that, you know, teams have been winning, like with the Rams Super Bowl formula of all offense, no defense from, what would that have been, 2000? 2000, no, that would have been 99 season, 2000 Super Bowl. Like, even the teams with really good offenses, the Chiefs got better and were able to turn into a dynasty because they also played defense. They figured that out. It wasn't just all on Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was the biggest reason, but it wasn't just all on him. Does this say that there's an even further shift and that, like, game management types of quarterbacks or play calling can be the next step in the next process? The next 5 years could be dominated by that? I don't think so. I think it's a story about 1 year. My gut is we always want things to be a bigger statement than they are. I think the Seahawks happen to be the team that won the Super Bowl this year. I think Mike Macdonald is a hell of a coach. I have no idea if the Seahawks are going to win a Super Bowl next year or be in the mix to win the Super Bowl next year. No clue. Nothing about them. You don't look at them and see dynasty. But you didn't look at them at the beginning of the year and see Super Bowl champions. So who knows? They're going to have to replace their offensive coordinator. That's going to be tough. They're a good team. But they're a good team. I don't know what would have happened if any of the Ravens, Chiefs, or Bills with all-world quarterbacks would have been rolling and would have been playing their better football and would have been in the Super Bowl. Sometimes it's just the story of this is what happened and nothing more than that. I don't know. I think the Seahawks, as we always, if the goofy 2-point conversion thing against the Rams doesn't happen and the Rams get to host the NFC Championship game and or the Seahawks aren't even there, I don't know. The season might have come down to that goofy-ass 2-point conversion that in no world really should have been a 2-point conversion, but legally speaking was.
They earned that one. I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
But that doesn't mean they didn't earn winning the Super Bowl. That's the way it works. In the same way that, like, we all know the Patriots were kind of fraudulent. That, if you want to say there was something that was proven last night, the part where the Patriots didn't play anybody, like, that probably was proven last night. That the Patriots were sort of paper AFC champions, but they did still earn it. They still played games and determined winners, and the Patriots won. It's this weird bit where sometimes it's just the thing that happened and maybe not a larger, look or a larger statement about where football is. I would be surprised if all of the teams with the top quarterbacks were as bad next year as they were this year. The 4 unquestionable best quarterbacks in football, in whatever order that you want to put them in.
Be careful how you say it.
Yes. Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow, whatever combination of that, combined to win 1 playoff game this year. My gut tells me that won't be the case next year. But that doesn't mean that any are going to win a Super Bowl either, because literally only one of them has won a Super Bowl to this point. It was a boring football game.
Not if you had. Nah,
No, I mean, it got interesting at the end. For those of us that did have the under, it did get a little interesting at the end.
Halfway through, PFF
My
Sean and
God.
I put Jason Myers MVP bet in, so we were rooting for field goals like hell. And we were like, yes, more Jason Myers kicks.
They were never going to. A lot of people doing the bit on that, like, should Jason Myers have been the MVP? It's sort of like talking. No, it's like talking about Tyler Loop. He made all of the kicks he was supposed to make.
Well, that's what we were hoping for. We were like, maybe we need a 55-yarder.
That's
here.
If you wanted any hope of Jason Myers being the MVP, he had to do something that shouldn't have been assumed. That's like, it's really difficult for any kicker to be the MVP. For a kicker to be the MVP, he has to do something that's not assumed, or maybe like a walk-off field goal at the end.
And we were like, do we need the Patriots to start coming back here? And
something like that in order for that to happen. I don't think there was any actual argument. Yes, he scored a lot of points.
Beat the Patriots himself, yeah.
Right, correct.
So
he did. Jason Myers did.
I should
doesn't mean
I should have made like $200.
Doesn't mean he didn't have a good game. Yeah, I was sweating the under a good bit at the end because I think I got it at 44.5. So even the 2-point conversion wouldn't even mattered. I would have been okay on that one. But when Kenneth Walker broke the touchdown at the end, like, I actually hit. So I let my kids. For some reason, my kids don't have school today. What in the F is going on?
You know what? You're right.
No,
I can't see some patches of grass.
They
now.
pre-schedule. This is a straight shoot. They pre-schedule a teacher day for the day after the Super Bowl, so the teachers can all be hungover or whatever. Like, they pre-schedule this being a teacher day at my kids' school.
At least since they pre-scheduled it, I'm not quite as mad.
Yeah, it's a joke. I mean, it's a joke that this is what they do, but it's what they do, and so good for them. So I let the kids stay up last night. Now, they were so bored by the game that they actually went upstairs and did something else for a little bit, but then they came back downstairs. And I swear, I hit, on the couch, just the couch, right? Like, I did one of those numbers as Kenneth Walker was breaking off the touchdown run. And my kids were very confused because, of course, we were rooting for the Seahawks.
Sure, yeah.
So I should have been very excited
you should have been doing
about the Kenneth Walker touchdown run. And then I had to explain
why.
Well, kids,
you're lucky that got called back because now you get dinner this week.
That's right. I would say you're going to college, but let's be fair. You were never going to college. That wasn't happening. Yeah, so that one that got a little hinky. And then I was really worried about the Patriots getting the ball back and the Seahawks just not playing defense. It's like, oh, damn it, they could go right down and score it. didn't like that at all. But thankfully, under did hit. I was good there. I did not, obviously, the depressing part, we did not get the over on the anthem.
Yeah,
Aaron Schatz. Blame you for that one. Didn't get the over on the anthem. But those are the only bets that I had, so it's all good. All good. It was a boring as sin Super Bowl. I mean, just really, really boring. But that's the way sometimes football games go. That's the nature of it. There have been far more of these types of Super Bowls than there have been thrillers and classics over the years. This is what you get. It was my buddy came over, and we were just like laughing at how, oh my God, this is dreadful. Just a dreadful football game. And how the Seahawks so openly thought nothing of the Patriots, thought so little of the Patriots, they're like, we'll just run the ball on third down. Like, we don't care. Punting's good. Punting's good. They're not.
I guess Dixon might have had the better case at the end of the day.
I mean, he had some great punts. There's no doubt. Some really, really good punts. Wait, that wasn't Summer, was it? Oh, it was, wasn't it? Did she just hit the wall? Oh, that would be terrible. I don't like that. The luge is on in the background.
Oh, yeah, that is
it
her.
is Summer.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, she just shrugged her shoulders.
She's very unhappy. She hit the wall. I don't like that even a little bit. Oh, boy. Oh,
well, the other American smiling, yeah. So that's
but I don't care. With all due respect, I mean, look, I want an American to win, but I want it to be Summer Britcher, the Baltimore native, who's competing in the luge or just competed in the luge, and doesn't seem like it went well. Doesn't seem like it was good. All right. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, we were talking about the game, the Super Bowl. That happened.
Stunk.
Yeah, it was bad.
Other than the Patriots losing, which
the Patriots losing. Hooray! Hooray for the Patriots losing. We had that going for us. Again, does that mean that the Patriots can't be back in the mix moving forward? I mean, if you're a Patriots fan, you're thinking your quarterback is 17 years old, and you've got nothing but years upon years of success ahead of you. And maybe life's going to get a whole lot more difficult moving forward, and you need to do more to surround him. Now, to be fair, they spent a very early round draft pick on Will Campbell.
How'd he do?
Whoo, buddy. Woo. Man. The only guy that had a worse night than your uncle who kept demanding that you change the channel at halftime.
What? He wanted to watch.
There
was nothing else on.
That was rough for Will Campbell. So I said they got to do more for him, but, like, to be fair, they tried. God.
And Morgan Moses was in there saying, guys, we got to figure this out.
Screaming at everybody on the sideline. The commercials obviously were dreadful. I mean, just an abominable night of commercials.
I like the McUltra one with Kurt Russell.
I don't even remember that.
That was early. It was early.
Okay.
And the guy was skiing or something. It was one of the skiers. I think it was one of the. Maybe it wasn't one of the skiers. I don't know. The guy was skiing.
Okay.
But they had Kurt Russell do the he was like again. He said that like twice.
Oh, like from Miracle. All right,
yeah.
All right. That probably was decent. I don't know why I missed that.
It was early.
The horny dog one that Red Bull did was good. That was good. Where the dog then wraps the owner around the pole so that he can start like that one. That was good. Yeah. That was a good one.
That was fine, I guess.
That's this is the problem. All we do now is look at this famous person in a commercial. Here's one I'll give you.
Yeah, the Dunkin'.
The Dunkin' one stunk.
Why? I wanted Dunkin'.
It was awful. My God, that was bad.
I think I was supposed to appeal right to you, wasn't it?
I don't know who it's supposed to appeal to. It's working because every dullard on the internet is like, whoa, hey. That's the dumbest commercial I've ever seen.
Well, we had George Costanza.
That's the problem. That all it is just, hey, remember this thing? And remember this other thing? They did not work. The premise was stupid. It was just, how can we get a bunch of cameos from celebrities and nostalgia bites all shoved into one Super Bowl commercial?
And Ben Affleck doing Boston.
It made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it was Dunkin'.
The premise was
No, it's where you
stupid.
go to Dunkin' to meet up and you might see all your old friends.
For some reason, Jaleel White is there, but you can't even tell that it's Urkel because he doesn't look like Urkel at all. And
yeah, I guess you're
and
right.
Carlton's there for whatever reason. I mean, it's just
why not?
The premise was awful. And God, we are such a dumb society that we're all like, whoa! We're all the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I remember that guy.
Yeah, Rachel was in there.
So stupid. All of it was so dumb. Yeah, the commercials were dreadful. I mean, just dreadful. Halftime was good. I don't know. As you know, Bad Bunny's not my thing. It was good. Like, it's a difficult thing. The vibe was immaculate. The music is okay.
The music's great.
The music is, if that's the music that you're into, it's wonderful.
You're supposed to get up and dance.
And that's cool. That's the vibe was immaculate. The vibe was phenomenal. It was outstanding vibe-wise, and the look of it, the visual presentation was spectacular, like just utterly spectacular. The message seemed great. Like I don't know. It was really neat. It was really neat. Is it one of the greatest halftime shows of all time? No, but it was really good. Like, even though I'm not a Bad Bunny person, I mean, like, it's weird.
Now you are.
I like Bad Bunny the person. Like, Bad Bunny the dude seems like a 10.5. His music is not for me, and it's like, I'm trying to say this the right way. It's not because it's in Spanish. His music isn't.
You said when Lady Gaga popped up.
That's right.
Like,
then I was, thank God. Thank God. It was all in there. I think there's Latin music that is freaking wonderful. Buena Vista Social Club is unbelievable. I think the level of musicality is okay. Not to be fair, that's also a lot of music in 2026. Like, there's no room for Prince. There's no room for, we just don't do that. We do like a kind of okay level of musicality, and we want it to be visually stunning and all of those things, and we don't really care about the performance. I understand. I really do. I get it. But I can't pretend like it's something else. It definitely looked awesome, and the vibe was so cool. All of that. It was great. I don't know if it would crack the top 10 of Super Bowl halftime shows, but it was definitely the most recent.
Right,
and
so we got this. We're doing that today?
I can't even think. I mean, like, I know the three. I know the top three, and everything else after that, I'd have to be like, I don't know.
I think Kendrick's is up there.
It
wouldn't
be near the top three, but
I'm definitely gonna be.
I think that's the problem. I think after
most recent,
I think there are three really great halftime shows, and then everything else is just were you the Black-Eyed Peas or not? Like, one of them was an abomination.
I
the
watched
rest
it
of
after
them
we talked
were,
about it. I watched it. It wasn't that.
Oh my
bad.
God, it was awful. You heard her attempt to sing.
Yeah, she's a
It
singer.
was so far off key. By the way, and that poor Fergie, right? Because she could just do what everybody else does now. It's. I actually feel bad. Her attempt to sing was the mistake. She should have just done what everybody else does, which is pre-record a track and, go out there and lip sync around for a little while. Do the Kid Rock thing, like
Great American performer.
Yeah, right? Like that would have been so much better than her attempting that. It was a shame she attempted to sing, because then, oh God, we all had to hear it, which was just really unfortunate. Same thing that happened when she tried to do the national anthem.
Yeah,
I don't know
right.
why
Maybe
she
she's
tries
not a great
to sing.
singer.
I don't know why she does that to herself.
Yeah, I forgot the national
It's
anthem.
just maybe consider other things. Like, just not, this one's not for you, man. It's all good. I'm not going to try to sing. I know. Well, I'm going to sing Copacabana, obviously, and I'll nail that, but I'm not going to try to sing the national anthem. That wouldn't go so well. It was definitely a good one. There's no doubt about that. It was a good one. All the other pomp and circumstance was all fine. I mean, there's nothing particularly memorable. Like, the anthem existed.
I thought the anthem was good. I don't know.
What's that?
I thought the anthem was good.
It was fine as anthem, but it's not a particularly,
It was a strong flyover. That was
like post. Again, how many anthems do we remember post Whitney Houston? It's so difficult to do a memorable anthem. If you go pre-Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye at the NBA All-Star Game was one of the greatest anthems of all time. But post-Whitney Houston. I thought Chris Stapleton's was particularly unique because he was playing the guitar.
I guess Alicia Keys because hers was so long, and that was...
Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered anything about it until you brought it up last week. Didn't remember anything. It's so difficult to have a memorable anthem. Like, it's more, did you embarrass yourself in front of the world? And if you didn't, great. You're just as good as anybody else that got the opportunity to do this. God love you. Green Day, I can't believe that. That dude's got to be like 60 years old, and he looks great. Good for him. It was all fine, all of the pomp and circumstance. NBC's presentation, I know a lot of people lost their mind. Mike Tirico at one point during the broadcast said, described Drake May as the best scrambling quarterback in the NFL, and the internet lost it, freaked out.
Darn, I didn't hear
but
that.
the next line was like, he explained that he was talking about statistically from this season. And again, this is our media literacy problem, where we hear what we want to hear. What we want to hear is that Mike Tirico saying his opinion is that Drake May is a better scrambling quarterback than Lamar Jackson or insert name here. That's not what happened. It's not. No matter how badly we want that to be what happened, because again, we just like kind of doing the dumbest. It was not what happened. He was referring to, and I don't even know what the statistic is, because truth be told, I didn't pay that much attention to it this year. But he was saying statistically, Drake May was the best scrambling quarterback in the NFL this year, and whether that's because he finished with the most rushing yards, or if there's some specific statistic that
like about third downs, I guess.
Or non-designed runs or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the number is off the top of my head. I'm sure they said what the number was when they were talking about it. I was just yelling with people on the internet, and so I didn't have a whole lot to say. I thought Tirico and Collinsworth were as good as they usually are. I wish... It's funny. I think Collinsworth is one of the better analysts in the NFL. It's just the thing that I always like to talk about. But he comes with so little cachet that it's a shame to me there's not someone better. And I get it. Like, Troy Aikman is a rarity. Tom Brady is, by the way, Tom Brady is as good as it gets when it comes to analysis. I think that Chris Collinsworth is good. It's just he's good despite not having the same cachet as a player. He was okay. He was a good player, even. But the broadcast was good. There were no... I thought Fred Warner was actually excellent.
Yeah, I thought Fred Warner was good,
I thought he
too.
was
Yeah.
outstanding. Like, really good. The silly bit with, like, sending Jack Collinsworth and Tony Dungy and Rodney Harrison to Alcatraz for
I missed that part.
reasons.
Darn. Well, you just remove the first guy.
My wife asked me to turn the pregame show on at like 2 p.m. I swear to God. I'm like, baby, what is this? What? Who are you? What is this? But they did, like, the first part of the pregame show was just the three of them at Alcatraz for whatever reason there was. Like, it just existed. John Little Rock says he loved the game. I mean, if I love the part where the Patriots lost,
I guess I'm just a vehement,
as far as football games go, it was a game. And again, some of it, like, undoubtedly was the Seahawks defense was really good. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. I don't think all of it was. Like, what was that last interception from Drake May? What was that?
Well, he was trying to score.
Was that a brilliant play by the Seahawks defense, or was that one of the worst throws you've ever seen someone make? And I get it, like, and I actually think, again, Collinsworth explained it well. Like, you could try to say that he's desperate, but things are actually going there. They kind of had a little momentum at that point. Like, they were figuring their way into the game, and it was getting a little interesting. And then all of a sudden, he just made one of the worst throws you'll ever see someone make. And I get it. He's young. He's got a lot of career in front of him. This isn't me saying that Drake May will stink for the rest of his life because he made a bad throw in the Super Bowl. But Drake May made a really bad throw in the Super Bowl. Just an awful, awful throw in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, some of it was the Seahawks. Some of it was Drake May. Congratulations to the Seahawks. They joined the multiple Super Bowl club. I believe they're the 17th team to win at least 2 Super Bowls. So go ahead.
Ravens, Seahawks, Patriots. I should write it. Ravens, Seahawks, Patriots, Steelers, Cowboys, Niners.
Slow down. Steelers, Cowboys.
What am I at 5?
You're at the 6.
Washington, New York Giants, Green Bay. How many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
I think they might have only won 1. Let's go with the. No, not them. New Orleans.
There's only won 1 Super Bowl. Just
really?
the
that was
one.
their first.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
I was like, yeah, maybe they won 1. I said Patriots. Who am I?
Shouldn't be this
Sure,
much of a struggle.
I know. I'm sure I'm forgetting.
Still 8
definitely.
left.
So, Broncos.
Broncos
Kansas
sure.
City, obviously.
Yes.
And I don't think the Chargers have ever won. I don't think. Yeah. So the Raiders? Yeah, the Raiders. Yeah, Raiders.
Of course.
Raiders. Bucks. Let's see. Seattle. We said Arizona. They're only the 1 for Arizona.
They've never won.
Never won 1. Yes, that's right. They lost to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I wish they had won.
Would have been good.
Anyone I'm missing from this past? Philly.
Yes.
That's probably the only one I was missing from this past decade. How many am I at? 15.
You're missing another one from this past decade.
The Rams.
Yes.
Let's see. I don't think the Bengals have never won it.
I think you're it's probably outside a decade now.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's something like right on the edge. No, but I named Denver,
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, it's outside of a decade now for the other one. And it's cheating because they
said
moved.
Giants.
They moved.
They moved cities.
Yeah.
I said Rams.
So in their current city, they've only won 1.
Carolina's number 1.
It's
Houston's number.
it's nearly 2 decades at this point.
Okay. Dang it, who am I forgetting? Oh, Indy. Okay, so the Colts.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm at 16?
16.
Jeez, darn it.
16.
Bears have only won
The other one has been a while.
Bears have only won
been a
one.
while. Bears have only won 1.
Detroit's number 1. Atlanta's number 1.
Nope.
Atlanta's never been. Or Atlanta's been once, yeah. At least once.
They've been twice.
You guys named, all the NFC East teams. Is there one I didn't?
No, it's not the NFC East.
Titans haven't won.
No.
Jags haven't won. Cleveland. Cleveland? No, Cleveland's
definitely never won.
Cincinnati's never won.
Yep.
So what division am I skipping over here? Oh, Miami. No,
Miami.
Yeah, Miami. Yeah, Miami.
I like that you talked yourself out of it after you said it. I like
Miami.
There you go. Come back in, Qadry Ismail. We'll talk some Super Bowl. We'll talk some Ravens with him next. It is a Monday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January 15th. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Pressbox is available now, and it's our annual Best of issue, celebrating the top people, performances, and moments of 2025 in local sports. On the cover, we recognize 4 of the most significant athletes of the year: Orioles pitcher Trevor Rogers, Navy quarterback Blake Horvath, Maryland basketball star Derek Queen, and our 2025 Mo Gabba Sports Person of the Year, Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton. Pressbox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $75,000 in free play. You could be one of 25 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million only at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
Back in here on GCR as we continue along here on a Monday edition of the program. Coming up a little bit later on the day, Stan the Fan Charles is going to be hanging out with Josh Lewin, who is rejoining the Orioles broadcast team this year. That'll be coming up at 5:30. You can watch it live, facebook.com/PressBoxSports. If you miss it live, check it out on YouTube a little bit later or tomorrow. Stan the Fan Charles and Josh Lewin. Stan's show is brought to you by the Costas Inn with 2 great locations, the OG on North Point Boulevard in Dundalk and the new one at the Grandstand in Timonium. Check that out today. Stan the Fan, Josh Lewin talking Orioles, talking about his return to the area as his career brings him back to Baltimore. Super Bowl 60 is in the books. The Seahawks are world champions. Now the offseason truly begins for the Baltimore Ravens as they try to become Super Bowl 61 champions. Joining us now, he is, of course, a Super Bowl champion himself. You see him on WJZ TV. He's our buddy Qadry Ismail. He's back with us on GCR. Qadry, what's going on, man? How are you?
I will say this.
Yes, sir.
It feels great to every single year have that phrase be said.
Yeah.
Especially around this time. He is a Super Bowl champion himself. Once you're in that club, you're in that club. I mean, it's like, man, it just feels so good, and I'm so happy for the Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold.
I mean, let's talk about that, right? Because I feel like it's almost getting written off. It is maybe unbelievable what Sam Darnold, like we completely wrote that dude off. I mean, we made fun of him. He was the butt of jokes. And it is an amazing story. And somehow, I don't know if it just got lost or swept. It's a really amazing story that Sam Darnold went from the bottom and a guy that couldn't get a job to now being a Super Bowl champion.
I think the resilience mentally for him is just out of this world. I am like, I know how hard it is. I know, my own, career when it came to trying to reestablish myself and understand what it was like to be a pro. But I wasn't playing the hardest position in sport. I was playing an outside position, and it was just me. He has the pressure of the entire team, and for him to go from team to team, that to me is really the challenge. How can you stay focused and locked in? But he did, and he's been rewarded.
The Mike Macdonald thing, right, Qadry? Again, Mike Macdonald was never going to be the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, no matter how many people on Twitter wish that could have been the case. The Ravens were never firing a coach that just took his team to the AFC Championship game. That's sort of insane. But would Mike Macdonald have been this successful anywhere? Did it require going to the right organization where they have a hell of a GM? Like, can you walk me through what is the special sauce of Mike Macdonald?
Well, I think there's a couple of things, because if you look at his journey and his progression, you knew that there's a trial by fire and figuring out, who you are, how you're going to be as a coach. But to be honest, you have to be around the right coaches. And if you're around the right coaches, you will get your opportunity once you're up on that stage, once you're, the position coach, the defensive coordinator, then, you go to a different team and see how that organization is run. For him to go back to the collegiate ranks to see how things were run. All of that shaped him. And I think it is a right position when you say going to Seattle versus going to, say, Arizona. You go to Arizona, well, then you might as well just say 3 years later, you're going to be on the outside looking for a job.
Yeah. Or trying to be defensive coordinator again at some point. And it is the reality. I appreciate the way that you say it because somebody is taking a head coaching job whether that's Mike LaFleur or, to your point, in Arizona, somebody's going to be celebrated for being a head coach that's just going to be looking for a job again in the next year or two. That's the way that it works.
It's rare that he was able to do what he did, and it takes a GM that thinks outside the box and recognizes how to make it work. And I guess for him, he should not necessarily thank the Seahawks organization exclusively in that regard. Again, his journey was his journey because he had to do the work as well. But it certainly helped to have an organization that was in lockstep with your vision.
Is Jesse Minter the next Mike Macdonald, Qadry? Is it as simple as, well, just try to replicate what they're doing, try to find a defensive genius, and you can go be the Seattle Seahawks moving forward?
You better be a team that runs the football and has a good coordinator like Clint Kubiak that can help protect the Sam Darnold. You better be a team that can, make trades like Lawrence and put him on your ball club. You better be a team that can draft a number one wide receiver and pick up another free agent receiver in Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba. You better get a system in place from running game perspective. We had two running backs. One goes down and another one winds up being a Super Bowl MVP. No, this is the NFL. Every year is different, and every year presents its own challenges. And next year, the narrative is going to be, hey, let's see what happens now that Andy Reid is reunited with Eric Bieniemy, and can they help Patrick Mahomes, and who's going to replace blah, 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 blah. Oh, look, the Ravens. Oh, they're going to be back. Oh, you got Lamar Jackson. Oh, Jesse Minter. Oh, look over here, Buffalo. Buffalo has a new coach and Joe Brady. Can Joe be the one that, does what Sean McDermott couldn't do? They got a new stadium. Ooh, wow. I mean, that's what's going to be. We're looking at the Patriots and the remarkable job that they did, but everybody's talking about their schedule. Glenn, they just lined up and played their schedule, and they beat teams, period. Don't be mad at us. We just beat teams to get to where we needed to get to. Sure, we took advantage of a snow game. That's on Denver for not taking advantage of a snow game. That's where, in my mind, each and every year it writes its own story. It's why it's the greatest sport to play.
We just talked about that to start the show, Qadry. Was this a grand statement about the NFL? I don't know. It might just be a statement about what happened this year and the games that were played, and it could just be nothing other than that. And that is, to your point, the very cool part about the NFL. Sometimes it works out that way. Qadry Ismail, Super Bowl champion, I'll say it again, with us here on GCR. Qadry, now as we look at what's next for the Ravens, let me start because you and I haven't talked since the staff has come together. There is something to be asked about a first-time head coach being paired with a first-time offensive play caller in Declan Doyle. Is that a risk that's worth taking for a team that wants to win a Super Bowl right now? Is there maybe a little bit too much risk in putting that combination of coaches together?
Well, I think this. If you have a staff that is a strong staff, then when you put together a staff that can put together a game plan that, yes, a young quarterback, or I should say a young former assistant offensive coordinator. Now he jumps into the seat as the coordinator and calling plays. I think there's going to be a lot more confidence in himself. I think that's something that needs to be looked at. It's not just, oh boy, here we go. This isn't going to work out. Yeah, it will. I think it absolutely will. And it'll be fun to see is what I'm looking at.
Is there an argument for, I'll make the comparison, Mike Macdonald had Leslie Frazier on his staff, right, and had him work as assistant head coach. Is there an argument for, if you're going with this many young or first-time or new coaches in their roles, that it would behoove you to find a former head coach to also have on staff to maybe help with that acclimation process for these guys that are moving into bigger roles?
Well, I think Joe Lombardi, senior offensive assistant, he's got tons of experience.
Yeah.
And they've all been under that Sean Payton mindset, so I don't think that that's a big deal. You also got one of the best offensive line and run game coordinators in the business, and Dwayne Ledford, so I think that's not a big deal. I think Israel Woolfolk is going to be a change of pace and help bridge the gap between whatever the disconnect was with Lamar and the coaching staff and John Harbaugh and all that, blah, 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 in the past. But moving forward, I think for Declan, he has a good group around him. I think over on the defense side of the ball, yeah, Jesse has already been there, done that. It's just a matter of him being able to I know that Anthony Weaver, Mike Mickens, they're going to help me put together the week of practice and get things rolling and grooving. At the same time, I'm very confident in how I would like to call plays. It's already been done, and you could see it. So, yeah, I'd be feeling way more confident after Mike Macdonald did what he did. So, I think this is – doesn't preclude them from getting a former head coach, but right now, from where it stands, I like what they're doing.
Would you be prioritizing figuring out a way to have Marlon Humphrey back on this team next year, Qadry, or is it maybe time for that divorce to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I every time I think he's like, oh yeah, I figured it out, or oh, I changed this, or it's the same old, same old. So same old to me. Okay, what are we doing? Who's out there that can be better? I guess I'm still smarting over the fact that home game against Pittsburgh comes in here, can't throw it deep worth a lick, and doggone the Kalen freaking torches you like multiple times. That to me is just the beginning of the end for what I saw with Marlon.
I've heard the argument that he's the perfect example of someone that you want to have around Jesse Minter right now. That you don't write any of these guys off, and you assume now you obviously try to work with them on finding a number that makes it a little bit more palatable and helpful for the Ravens as they try to acquire players, but that maybe we don't judge any of the defensive players, not to try to cast stones at Zach Orr, but to say maybe you take a look at them one more time with someone that you believe can be a difference maker as a coordinator and as a coach.
I'm yawning right now.
Okay.
You're trying to be too idealistic.
Okay.
Bye-bye. See you, Marlon.
Okay. Wow. All right. I appreciate it. I understand, man. It's tough. Look, I don't think Roquan Smith monetarily, I don't even think it makes sense to cut him. So I think you're wasting breath there. But I'm hoping that can be an area where he can have an impact. What's the area that nobody's talking about for this team that you are prioritizing in the offseason? What's something that you say, hey, they need to address this offseason in addition to obviously what they've done in making a change of coach?
Yeah, don't do what you've been doing in the last 18 years with regards to making moves.
Does it mean it's time to be more aggressive?
Bam, there it is. All righty then.
Okay.
That whole, we want to acquire picks and we want to get depth. Man, miss me with all the whole depth thing. When you look at it, the people you bringing in aren't really giving you that much depth to begin with.
That's
so get some studs up in there and be mindful of how you're doing it from an injury standpoint. And that is my TED Talk of the day.
How many first-round picks are you willing to give up to try to get Max Crosby if they're really going to trade him?
I'm not a huge Max Crosby guy.
Okay, all right.
I've seen him up close and personal, and I don't know if he would fit the AFC North mindset. I think, he's too AFC West for me. He's too finesse. But if they got him, I could see, meh. It depends on who's out there. I in all honesty, I would love to see who's the next big time player, maybe move up in the draft rather than going out and that's my mindset.
Oh, if you can move up and Russell Bain's sitting there at like 10, let's have that conversation. Let's talk about that because I am interested. You enjoyed the halftime show?
Yeah. That was fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
I tried to explain earlier. Like, to me, it's not for me, but the vibe was just immaculate.
Well, I don't know what is for me or not for me. Yeah. Every time I've seen every halftime show, everybody cracks me up. It's like, oh my God, I don't like it. Oh my God, I don't like it. Oh my God, I don't like it. I'm like, I kind of liked it. Wow, that was, Rihanna was fun. Oh wow, Lady Gaga was fun. Oh, okay, Paul McCartney. Okay, bro, you know what? Rock on, do your thing. Prince,
well, it's the greatest of all time, yes.
Michael Jackson, my goodness. I'm like sitting here like, why have I not gone out there to see that one? All of the Super Bowl halftime shows brought an eclectic group to the mix. It was amazing, and I enjoyed it. I don't really, there may be one or two, I'm like, all right, good, it's good.
Yeah.
But this one, I love the vibe of it. I love, how he weaves so much, cultural references throughout. And heck, somebody got married, so that's awesome.
Yeah, man, good for them. Again, it visually was stunning. I mean, it was a stunning visual presentation. It was awesome in that way. There is no doubt about it. Remind everybody about missile training, my friends.
Yeah, missile training is all about helping you enhance your movement and sports performance. Human movement and sports performance is all about understanding the spirals of the ball and sockets in your shoulders, wrists, hips, and ankles and making them work all in harmony. MissileTraining.com is where you can check me out.
At I am Qadry Ismail as well is where you find him. Love you, brother. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you real soon, all right?
Always, brother. Appreciate you.
It's Qadry Ismail with us here on GCR. And, wow, I didn't expect him to just say bye-bye to Marlon Humphrey, but that's the way he feels. I had a couple people present it to me last week. Like, maybe you don't make any sweeping decisions like that until you see these guys with Jesse Minter. But I also understand the argument is you don't want to be 1 year too late in making a decision. You want to make that type of decision at the appropriate time. The Marlon one is tricky because it's not an obvious one. It's one where you basically have to decide that you don't think Marlon can play at a high level anymore because there is still a good amount of dead cap space involved. Let me make sure I had the number right. Marlon Humphrey is, $19 million in dead cap. So, you can spread that out, post-June 1 cut. Like, you can make it work, and you can save money. Like, there is money to be saved on Marlon Humphrey. I still think you're better off just trying to restructure and hoping that Marlon Humphrey can – look, we can joke about the idea of, well, you don't need any more safeties because, of course, that's what some people would say. Marlon Humphrey just needs to be a safety at this point in his career.
Well, they're going to draft one in the first round here.
They do that a lot, don't they? I'd be surprised. I know Peter Woods is the hot name. We do have to dive more into draft coverage starting this week. We do need to prioritize that. Peter Woods is kind of the hot name of who's going to be available. Now, I know there's also been a lot of cryptic posts recently from Nnamdi Madubuike that I haven't really discussed all that much because they're just cryptic posts. I don't know what to discuss about them. Well, I mean, what do I say until we know something? If Nnamdi Madubuike is going to be able to keep playing football, then I would assume that takes them out of the running, but that feels kind of crazy to me that we'll go from no word whatsoever about Nnamdi Madubuike to, yeah, I'm good, man. Like, that seems unlikely. So Peter Woods, the Clemson defensive tackle, has kind of been the one that's been most commonly mocked to the Ravens. I guess Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver from USC. I would assume that means people think that Rashad Bateman is getting traded. I'd be surprised. I'm not telling you I wouldn't do it if Rashad Bateman was still on the roster, and I don't mind the idea at all of having 3 wide receivers that you like a lot. But I think a lot of people also believe that Tez Walker has earned the opportunity to move up a little bit and get some more chances. I would love for the Ravens to kind of identify a number 1 type of wide receiver, a prototype type of wide receiver to be their guy, but that's not what Mekhi Lemon is. I mean, he's not Zay Flowers. He's like 5'11", I want to say 6 foot, something like that. He's just not a prototype type of guy. Like, if you're in the market for a wide receiver, I think that's what you're looking for. Like, you've got Zay. I would just want to combine him with more of the jump ball type of guy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
5'11", 195.
That's what. Okay.
Mekhi Lemon is, yeah.
To be fair, Anquan Bolden wasn't really a prototype either, as much as he was just tough as hell, and made up for it. You know, Brian Billick used to joke that you want your wide receiver room to look like a basketball team. Like, you want to have a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, a power forward, and a center. Now, basketball teams don't look like that anymore, so it's kind of a bad comparison.
Oh, yeah, they're just all 6'8". And
yeah, they're like, we don't really have a point guard. We just have a bunch of wings. That's what we have. We have wings and posts. That's what we've got. And really, it's 1 post, 1 forward, wing forward, and 3 wings. That's what we have. Look, man, I said Russell Bain. Obviously, I know it's Ruben Bain. I don't know why I said Russell Bain when we were talking to Qadry, but I did.
I thought you said Russell Bain. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I definitely said Russell Bain. Yeah. I don't know who Russell Bain is. It's Ruben Bain.
Russell.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. I could not tell you why I said Russell Bain. Maybe because we were talking about Kurt Russell earlier. I don't know.
So it's my fault.
I'm not blaming you. It's my fault. I'm just trying to figure it. This is not an excuse. It's an explanation. There's no excuse. I boofed it.
You got to repeat it. Ruben.
Yeah. Ruben. Let's go have some sandwiches.
Raven Ruben.
Now I want a sandwich. God. We had a lot of food in the Clark household last night.
Congrats. Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
No?
Poor toilet. Oh, boy. So much.
That's why you have it.
So much cheese. Just so much cheese. Mrs. Clark told me she was making 2 dips. I said, all right. And one of them was like a viral dip that we found that was called Super Bowl dip. It was meh.
Super Bowl dip.
Yeah, it was very meh. It was just like
salsa guac.
It was a cold dip.
Okay.
It was
7-layer-esque.
It was sour cream, bacon, sausage, rotel, onions, and barbecue rub, basically. And it was fine. I actually like it, right? But it's fine in comparison to. She of course made her buffalo dip, put it in a football bread bowl. That's what she does. That's pretty good. She made a cheesy barbecue pork dip.
Also
which really just seems like barbecue pork mixed with cheese. Like, that's all it seems like it was, but it was good. And then I made meatballs on top of everything else because the kids asked me last week to make meatballs. So I dove in and made some meatballs. And it was I think I did post pictures of those are the meatballs. Yeah, look at those bad boys. Meatballs were on point. Kids helped me roll the meatballs, and then I smoked them. And we just went with the straight barbecue meatballs. They like the barbecue meatballs. They are outstanding. Yes, that was her buffalo dip in the football. You can't really tell because the kids ate the stitches first. They ate the stitches, the bread stitching in the middle. Yeah,
okay.
bread stitches. They ate that first.
Still looks pretty good. Well,
Yeah.
so they didn't dip it, though?
No, I don't know what
They
the
just
deal
ate the
was.
bread?
Or they did, and I think over on the far side you see, I think that's where they dipped it. As they ate the stitches off first. That was the the barbecue pork
the
and
massacre?
cheese.
Okay.
Just pretty much barbecue pork and cheese. Basically what it was. Worked.
Looks good.
Worked. And then this was the Super Bowl dip. Cold dip, bacon, breakfast sausage, sour cream, onions, Rotel, barbecue rub.
What is Rotel?
Cheese. Rotel is tomatoes and chilies.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it sounds good.
It was good. It was good. I don't know. It was just good is all I would say. It was just good. The problem is we have way too much. Way too much. And then she's like screaming at me. She's like, "You need to eat more. I made this viral dip for you." I'm like, the toilet can only handle so much.
Well,
we are asking entirely too much of our toilet.
It's a special occasion.
I
You
understand.
Everyone's got to
Do you
step
remember
up.
last year, the day after the Super Bowl, when our toilets here did not work? Remember we came in.
I did not remember it being that day, but
there was like a water. There was
Yeah,
literally the day after the Super Bowl, and I'm like, I am 80% dip. This is not okay.
You had to run, and then wasn't Wawa close too or something?
Yeah,
And
something like that.
and
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad circumstance the day after the Super Bowl last year.
drive up the street. And
We'll come back in. Pitchers and catchers report tomorrow. Are there going to be more pitchers for the Baltimore Orioles? We'll talk about what they do and what they don't have with our buddy Mike Bordick. I don't think that's going to be the call they make, unfortunately.
we need a lefty, don't we?
CountySports.zone for everything you need to know about high school sports. CountySports.zone. Every score, every schedule, every team, every sport, every part of the state. CountySports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January 15th. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $75,000 in free play. You could be one of 25 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million, only at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with two great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House, located in the Baltimore Peninsula. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Monday edition of the program. And I'm very excited because the Italy-USA mixed doubles curling semifinal is coming up. Apparently, I'm a big Corey and Corey guy. I think everybody knows that about me. I've been a Corey and Corey fan forever. Problem is Italy, who the U.S. actually played earlier today, which is weird. Like, that was their final round-robin match was against Italy. Lost, and now has to play them again in the semifinals. Apparently, Italy, powerhouse. So I'm very, very nervous about Corey and Corey going up against Italy in the semifinals coming up. It's going to be I'm going to be very distracted, unfortunately, is going to be the case. You know, it's funny. I was just talking about everything that we had at the Clark household for the Super Bowl. I bet this man's Super Bowl spread was almost exactly the same. I bet nothing but dips and lots of cheese and sauce. I bet that's what this man had as he was watching the game last night. Pitchers and catchers report tomorrow. Let's talk about who is and who isn't reporting for the Orioles. Joining us now, Orioles Hall of Famer, and a man you hear over on 105.7 The Fan. He is our buddy Mike Bordick, and he's with us now here on GCR. Bordy, what was on your spread for the game last night, sir?
Oh, my goodness. I didn't have anything crazy, to be honest with you.
I know.
I had a steak.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly. I try to explain to people, I'm like, it's not a bit for Bordy. It's the Super Bowl, and you're not allowing yourself to indulge. My God, man.
You don't think a steak is indulging?
Well, yeah,
I think
for
a
you,
steak
maybe.
Is total indulgence.
For you,
yeah.
I think for the rest of us, it's just sustenance. Is the way that we describe it. Is there a day?
I have increased my butter intake, so I'm doing a little more butter with my steak.
Okay.
So.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Getting dangerous now. Bordy's really living life on the edge. All of a sudden.
Absolutely.
Throwing a little more butter in.
I don't know if I'm trying to live longer or live shorter. I don't know.
I don't know.
How this is gonna go.
I don't know. If I was eating the way that you were, I wouldn't want to live longer, Bordy. I don't want it to be like that. Hey, so obviously a lot of disappointment in Baltimore last week as Framber Valdez ends up with the Tigers and not here. Where are you as far as what the Orioles have pitching-wise going into the season, what they could still do given who's out there, and the difference it might make for a team that we were hoping, after they added Pete Alonso, was ready to sort of take the jump back into competing to win the American League?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they missed out on Valdez. And, I think we all know now in the industry that you're just going to have to pay if you want a number one pitcher. And I think Valdez is that guy. Detroit certainly looking to make some big moves, I think, in the American League this season with their big 1-2 punch with Skubal. But there are still opportunities, I think, for the Orioles to increase pitching depth. And listen, if last year wasn't an indication, I don't know that it ever will be, that you just cannot have enough arms. And especially the way the health of pitching goes. I mean, this max effort, it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. I think they're still going to try to throw as hard as they can, increase their spin rate. So injuries are going to continue to happen. So you better have some depth and guys that are ready to go. And there are some still, some pretty good arms that are still out there. I mean, I think Gallen's name, Giolito's name. There are some veteran dudes that have been talked about. Chris Bassett and Justin Verlander come to mind. But either way, the Orioles have to continue to get arms. And they got to do whatever they can to do that. They just made a deal and gave up one of their, what I thought was a pretty good arm with Stroud. So you better have some bullpen reinforcements too. The Oriole bullpen right now is a total mystery to me. There are guys that have had success in the past. Helsley obviously is kind of slated in as being the closer, but he had inconsistencies last year. I mean, if you want to be a contender, you better have a lockdown back end. And I'm not talking about just one guy. You better have 2 or 3 guys lined up, like the good old days when, the Orioles had Britton and O'Day and Brock back there. And of course, losing to the three-headed monster for the Royals that had just a great back end of their bullpen. Because starters just don't go long enough. And if the Orioles starters can manage to make it through 6 innings, then you can lock it down at the end. And listen, I don't think they have enough. I like what they did, though, this off season as far as attempting to try to land pitchers. Listen, we're counting on Bradish being healthy. Rogers emerged as like, oh my gosh, a potential number 1 after the stuff he did last year. I think he even got Cy Young votes. So, I mean, that's exciting. Boz is, I don't know, I think that was a pretty good pickup, and bringing Eflin back was all right, but it's just not enough. It's not even close to enough. You got to have depth, man. And so finding a way to land more arms is what I think they still need to do. I think the Orioles, though, are in a better position than a lot of teams with the talent they have in the minor leagues. And look who they're going to bring to camp. I mean, Ryan Mountcastle's still on this team. Kobe Mayo's still on this team. I mean, those guys are tradable guys. And all the guys they landed last year at the trade deadline, they just got a slew of top prospects. So I don't think there should be any excuse to not be aggressive. I mean, do they really want to go to the World Series? Do they want to win a championship, or are they just trying to appease, some fans to make it back to the postseason? Because they don't have enough right now.
Boy, that is what you just said. Boy, there's like 6 things that I want to respond to that you just said, Bordy. And let me start with that last one and I'll work back. What you just said is, I think, the most frustrating part of it is that the Alonso signing seemed to be a signal of it's on. And I think that's why the lack, and it's not a fan created or a media created. I mean, Mike Elias said when they traded away Grayson Rodriguez, we've been clear, we're going to address the top of the rotation. And that's, I think, the frustrating part is it just feels incongruent. It feels like, oh, are you in or are you not? And I'm not, everybody was on board with Alonso. It's one of the greatest offseason moves the Orioles have ever made. But why just that? Why is that not paired with, hey, if we're doing this, let's also be aggressive in addressing the top of the rotation?
Amen to that. Amen to that. Now, I don't know what extra it would have taken to land Framber Valdez.
Right.
I think, he got paid, top dollar, right, for 3 years. But my goodness, what an advantage to sign a guy for just 3 years. So why not give him sneak in an extra year to make the guy happy one way or another? Like I said, we all know that you're going to need, extra arms. I think, when we look at our own team, right, the Orioles, but what about within the division? I mean, the Blue Jays didn't get weaker. I mean, they went out and landed Cease, and of course they've got Gosman, who had another great year. Bieber's going to be healthy, and that freaking kid, Savage, that emerged last year in the postseason. And the Red Sox even had some pretty big signings, getting landing Ranger Suarez, and they still got Crochet, they got Gray, so they got some good arms too. And the Yankees are going to get Cole back at the beginning of the season, so this is going to be challenging, man. And there's definitely awareness of that, because even the Orioles said, yeah, we need pitching, but like you said, they pulled back for some reason. They weren't as aggressive. And I don't know where that comes from. I think the Orioles have always tried to stay, midway when it comes to salary. But the bottom line is you're going to have to spend money if you want to be a championship caliber team. And I don't know why. I think it seems like Baltimore is an attractive place to play right now with the youth that they have and some of the other arms that they have. It's just surprising that they haven't really put all their weight into pitching. And I mean, shoot, we watched the Super Bowl last night. Defense is the most important thing, and you got to have a good pitcher there, to really start that kind of trend. So, unfortunately, they haven't been all in, but there still may be potential. I mean, Elias, he makes moves in spring training, and like I said, I think they do have a stockpile of talent And it's a long season as well, so there may be opportunities to make trades. But going into spring training, there just is not enough depth going right there. I love how you, though, alluded to Alonso. I think offensively, this is a pretty strong offense. Defensively, that has yet to be seen. I don't think Alonso's a Gold Glove caliber guy, but he works hard, and I think he's going to hold guys accountable.
Yeah, I'll live with that. At first base. Mike Bordick is with us here on GCR. Bordy, two other follow-ups on what you had said originally. The first being, I think that the thing that's really striking me, and I've talked about it a lot, is, and you referenced the Blue Jays getting ceased. The Blue Jays, to me, seem to be the example of an organization that recognized, look, we're going to have to pay a tax. And their tax is unique. It's because it's another country, it's a different lifestyle. You're asking a lot of a player to choose to commit. Not that Toronto isn't a great place, but that's a significant change for a baseball player when you're living there half the year to commit to. And so it seemed like they said, we know we have to pay a tax because of that. We can't just say, hey, what does the market value appear to be, and try to swim in those waters. We have to pay a tax. That's what we'll do. We'll go get Dylan Cease. My argument has been the Orioles have made the decision. Mike Elias has decided to not prioritize pitching early in the draft. That's not what he's done. He's prioritized bats. And that's fine, but what it's led to is they have not drafted and developed any pitchers at all. Yeah. They've made some pretty good trades, and they've acquired some guys that way. But to me, when you decide to do that, then you have to take on, and that means if we have to pay a tax for pitching, then so be it. And I think that's the frustrating part, is you're kind of trying to have it both ways where, hey, it's too volatile to draft pitchers that early, and it's too volatile to sign pitchers to this amount of money. Well, you can't have it both ways. Like, at some point, you've got to do one or the other, and it's too late now to try to draft and have them in. You didn't do it. You have to spend and overspend because of that.
I hear you, man. I agree wholeheartedly. Why they haven't put resources in to develop pitching is beyond me. Because, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, arms are all broken arms anyway. Whether you get a guy out of college, or you get a guy that's in pro ball, or you get a guy that's an established veteran, almost every pitcher to a man is going to have Tommy John surgery or two Tommy John surgeries because of their philosophy, Major League Baseball's philosophy, to go the drive line route and max effort every one of these guys. So why not take a younger arm that will heal better after his first Tommy John surgery right out of college? You can teach him how to do different things, develop them through. That is the mystery to me, why they haven't, started that process. And they continue year in and year out now, missing out on golden opportunities to get some of the best, young college arms that, in my opinion, don't take long to get to the big leagues, because every guy now is throwing 95 in college or higher. And that's all they care about, is that velocity. If you can just manage the delivery a little bit and get them more in the strike zone, that's all they're after. They could give a crap about location. They just want spin rate and velocity, so that the mistakes, I think, it's obviously more challenging to the hitters, but that's got to be. It really has to be a priority. It just makes no sense financially either, because you're going to save money on the front end. Look at Paul Skeens. How many people want Paul Skeens? The whole baseball industry wants him, but you pay him up front, and now he's been a stud, with the Pirates, which is really going to be a non-existent franchise for a number of years, but they got the best pitcher in baseball out there. That could have been an Orioles guy, and he could have been the foundation of a great rotation. So I don't understand it right now, their philosophy on that. And, you hit the nail on the head. How can we go this long and not have developed a pitcher? And if you think you're just going to go out and buy pitching, well, it just slapped you in the face once again, because you can't afford it.
You better be willing to pay that big price. You mentioned the guys that are still available earlier, Bordy. I'm in favor of depth. Like, one of the things about having a great number one is it backs everybody else down a spot. I'd still be in favor of improving your third, your fourth. Is there anybody in that group that you still think could be a genuine top-of-the-rotation pitcher? Not to take anything away from Bradish or Rogers, but we recognize Bradish has pitched 70 innings over the last 2 years. You're asking an awful lot for him to be a workhorse ace this season. Rodgers, you hope, is the guy from last year, but it was 14 starts. Is there still someone out there that you would say, I think that guy could still legitimately be a top-of-the-rotation pitcher by June if that's the guy you go out and still add?
Oh, I think they're all somewhat risky now, to be honest with you. Zach Gallen could be that guy that could have that kind of bounce-back year. I mean, he's had a couple years where he's considered like a Cy Young type pitcher. He could potentially be that guy. And even Giolito, right? I know people always talk about these expected ERAs and things, but he pitched pretty freaking well last year, for the Red Sox, and he's got time under his belt. He's a veteran guy, but he's an injury risk. It's tough. I've always, and I'm pretty sure that Chris Bassett, who was pitching for the Blue Jays last year, might still be out on the market.
Yep,
I know
he is.
He's a veteran guy, but if there was a guy that I would think, and I lean to a veteran guy only because they know themselves better than the Major League Baseball pitching philosophy does. And I don't think he's a guy that's going to go out there and blow himself out. I think he understands how to pitch. He's got an incredible pitch arsenal. I mean, he's one of those guys that can flip up 8 different pitches if he has to, and he knows how to get through lineups, and I'm not saying he's going to be that special guy that helps the Orioles, but, I think he's a veteran presence that could definitely help Radish and Rodgers and Boz, especially kind of learn how to pitch and understand what it's going to take to have longevity in the game and also be, pretty quality. So he's a guy that I kind of look to, but I also, I just think they need another left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
And I think lefties are really important. And I don't know if they're going to be able to find one right now unless they do work a big trade. This is another underlying issue here, and I may start another crazy topic, but when you think about the state of the game right now and the potential for a lockout, I think a lot of the teams that are on the margins and even below that, you look at might not even have a chance. The Orioles have to target those teams and say, listen, we'll give you 4 prospects for that guy and that guy, and be able to accrue some freaking arms to build depth. And those other franchises that are thinking they don't know what's going to happen with the collective bargaining agreement, at least they're getting some prospects so that they have a potential future no matter which way it goes. So I think there are real good opportunities to potentially land some arms. And that said, it might not happen tomorrow, and it might not happen in spring training. But as the summer goes, and, this is eerily familiar to that 94 season when we didn't get a World Series and stuff. If all of a sudden there is a work stoppage, the Orioles better not get caught. They better make moves before then so that at least they have something for some depth for, down the road.
He is Mike Bordick. Mike, what about the whole plug list, man? What are we getting in word for that you've got going on right now between everything that you're doing as the busiest man in show business?
Well, not quite, but I'm excited to get back and do Baltimore baseball tonight with Bob Haney and 105.7 The Fan. So that's going to be exciting. I just love talking baseball and, trying to keep up with the Orioles and their moves and watching their young talent do their thing. So that'll be fun. Got a podcast, the Be More Baseball podcast with the legendary Jerry Coleman. I'm trying to start, and we're in the works, very close to start another podcast through the League of Dreams, a nonprofit.
Cool.
And I got a great event coming up. Not in the Baltimore area, surprisingly, with the League of Dreams, but we've been asked to put on a clinic in Athens, Alabama.
Okay.
So, yeah, Frank Kolaric and I and Adam Kolaric, is another big league guy.
World Series champion.
Yes, sir. Are going to go down to Athens, Alabama, and we're going to put on a clinic for probably 30 or 40 kids and their families, and just going to love every minute of it.
LeagueofDreams.com to find out more. Mike Bordick.
.org.
Sorry.
LeagueofDreams.org.
Thank you. LeagueofDreams.org. I was feeling good. I was getting the plug and everything, too. Mike, love you, brother. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon, all right?
Same here. Thanks so much.
Mike Bordick with us here on GCR. U.S. gave up 2 points in the first. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about this matchup against the Italians. I'm a little nervous about it.
Well, they got home court advantage.
Yeah, there is that. That's part of the problem.
That's the issue.
It's part of the problem that you're dealing with. Haven't brought it up yet, but yes, amongst all of the... Oh, you want to talk about the more pitchers?
Yeah,
the only one of that...
We're not getting Eric Petty now.
Yeah. Drew's upset. Nick Martinez was one that I was always kind of a little confused as to why the market was so slow for Nick Martinez. Not that I think that he's a top-of-the-rotation pitcher by any stretch of the imagination, but, like, Nick Martinez, obviously before last year, where he struggled, there's no way around that, Nick Martinez in 2024 was excellent. And while he didn't make as many starts in 2022 and 23, his numbers were good. So, I don't even know what the deal was with the Rays. I can't imagine it was much because it's the Rays. But
8 years. All right. Let's see.
Nick Martinez.
If there have been, maybe details aren't even out yet.
113 apparently.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I would have been willing to. Like, I would have. It's a very difficult conversation, man. Like, I'm not excited about anybody that's left on the market, but I still want the Orioles to get at least one. Spare me the, well, you guys are ignoring Tyler Wells, who could still be part of the rotation. Right now, Tyler Wells has to be one of the leverage arms on this team. Like, most of us think that's the way that he should be used anyway.
Maybe he can be both.
But maybe. Hey, when you're not starting, like the next day, instead of
pitch the 8th inning,
instead of throwing a bullpen, like they don't have they don't have a bullpen right now. Like Tyler Wells has to be a part of the bullpen. He's got to be someone they're counting on in the back end of the bullpen at the moment. I think they need to get at least one of this group, at least one. And Nick Martinez, the 3 names you brought up, is the only one that I would have even been mildly interested in of that group. I think you kind of have your Nick Martinez at home in Shane Baz. Like, I think he's your Nick Martinez. But
you take 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I would have. If it's a simple vacuum, like in a vacuum,
yes or no,
thumbs up, thumbs down. Like we think they should change the Hall of Fame vote to. If that's what we're talking about, then yes, a thumbs up. If it's Nick Martinez versus Giolito, I would probably go with Giolito. If it's Nick Martinez versus Gallen, I know that's tough because what is the money that we're talking about?
Yeah.
And like I don't. That does complicate the conversation, but again, vacuum, would I rather have Martinez or Gallen? I still think I'd rather have Gallen. I think.
I mean, he's got the highest ceiling, obviously.
Yes.
And that's...
Yes.
We think, like as Mike said, yeah, we think the Orioles are aiming for the ceiling. Like, that's...
the pitching stuff makes it so hard to tell.
Yeah.
Bassett, Mike obviously brought up, and who was it that was raving about Bassett last week? It was Eric Kratz, right?
Yeah, Kratz likes him a lot, too.
Again, fitting a specific role, I get what they're talking about. And Bassett's history in the AL East and the way that he's dominated the Yankees in his career all make him appealing. There's not a ceiling, like the way that you just talked about with Gallen, or even Giolito. Like, you could argue that the ceiling on Giolito could be higher than a 3.
But with Bassett, he's a 4 or 5. But you're getting 30 starts probably.
Right.
Like,
and probably a better version of Kyle Gibson, right? Like the numbers would suggest
like
a better
Kyle
version.
Gibson when he was a pitcher, like
I think a better version of the Kyle Gibson that showed up the first time in Baltimore.
That's okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
That's my gut on what Chris Bassett is. But that's his ceiling. His ceiling is back end of the rotation, but gonna make the starts. Guy that's been there before, and you could count on at some point, like there's going to be a day this summer where he outduels whoever, Ranger Suarez, and you're going to be like, what? Like, how did that just happen? A game that you on paper said, well, the Orioles can't win this game, and we're going to be raving about how Chris Bassett threw 7 2/3 and gave up 3 runs and kept them right there.
Pete Alonso hits the 8th inning 3-run homer.
Right, something like that. I'm not a no on any of them. Other than, I think I'm a no on Verlander. I really do think I'm a no on Verlander.
Just because he's going to be expensive. He's not going to.
But if you're telling me it's nothing or Verlander, then okay, right? Like that's why I can't say I'm a no on anyone. Of the list, I don't even know who's one on my list at this point because there really isn't. But it's like by default.
Gallen.
I guess it has to be Gallen.
Everyone we've talked to over the last 2 days, I guess. But I'm being more and more convinced by Bassett just because. We can trust. I feel like we can trust that he'll show up. Like,
yeah, the Giolito thing is like weird because again, he was good. He was good.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so averse to Lucas Giolito.
I'm not even kidding. I think it's because Stan was so high on him from the get-go, and we were like, Stan, is that really what you're talking about? Like, are you really?
Because Stan was calling for him while there were still actual.
Well, there were actual pitchers on the board, and you were like, Stan, I'm telling you, everybody knows how much I love Stan the fan. One of my favorite people. God bless him. I am grateful to work with him. I liked Stan before I worked here and the whole thing. But sometimes Stan will, like, zero in on something and will just be like, why are you so obsessed with this? And part of it, and Stan will say, is like, well, if you they're not getting any of those other guys. So this is a practical one for me. I believe they could get Giolito, and I don't believe they're going to get any of those other guys. So our reaction is sort of like, my God, they've got to do better than Giolito. Yeah. They have to. But you actually look at what he did last year, and you're like, well, God, he made 26 starts and pitched to a 3.4 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. Like, that's
and that was coming off of he didn't pitch at all in 2024.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you could convince yourself that maybe one more year, and he did that in the AL, and they did that in the AL East, right? Like,
and before 2024, he was striking guys out left and right.
Yes, you could convince yourself that I don't know, maybe there's another.
He just does tend to get hit hard at times.
Yes, he does tend to get hard. That part is true. So I don't know where I'd be between Giolito and Bassett next. I'd be one of those two. I think I'd probably be Giolito 2 and Bassett 3, but I could listen to the argument otherwise. I think that's where Nick Martinez would have been for me is after that. Like, had he not signed today. So now it's I don't know. I mean, I have to really think about whether it be Zach Littell or Justin Verlander that would be next on this list for me.
Did Zach Littell make a full slate of?
I don't even.
Is he healthy? Like,
I don't even know. I don't even know. That's the funny part. I haven't spent any time thinking about Zach Littell.
Well, come on. You're supposed to do your job.
I know. And the funny thing is, Zach Littell ended up making 32 starts. And in Tampa, he was great. In Cincinnati, he was not. Although, actually, it's really funny. I'm looking at Cincinnati. You're going to tell me more about the numbers.
Yeah.
Cincinnati was a 4.39 ERA, but with a 1.069 WHIP. So we'll have to dive in a little bit more on what went wrong for Littell in Cincinnati. His numbers in Tampa were...
After he signed here, yeah.
His numbers in Tampa were actually excellent.
Which is in the tinderbox of a ballpark.
Right. Playing in a spring training stadium. 3.5 ERA, 1.1 WHIP. I mean, sounds pretty good. He was pretty good the 2 years before that. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe you could talk yourself into Zach Littell.
Just get all 5 of them.
Sure. Somebody brought that up too, is why not just sign 2 of them? Yes, sign 2 of them, by all means. Like, stop trying to solve for Dean Kramer and Zach Eflin. You're going to need 7 pitchers. And I'd rather your 7th pitcher be Dean Kramer or Zach Eflin or even Shane Baz or Justin Verlander than it being Cade Povich. We're solving for the wrong things. If Cade Povich now has to become a specialist in the bullpen, maybe he can work that way. Maybe
he's your Michael Baumann, your 6th, 7th inning guy. That's the first guy you go to.
Yes, I'm listening to it. All right. This was a note from Super Bowl coverage yesterday on NFL Network, which was a little odd. Here, I'll let you hear it if you missed it yesterday, but I guess somebody would say this is good news for the Ravens. I don't know. Just take a listen to what they said.
Let's go elsewhere in the AFC North to another quarterback, Lamar Jackson. And I know the speculation has begun. Could the Baltimore Ravens potentially trade Lamar Jackson? No, not feeling that. In fact, let's turn our attention to a potential contract extension. The Ravens have talked about this. It is a $74.5 million cap hit for Lamar Jackson this season. They've got to figure out a way to lower that, smooth that over, and also give themselves another window here to potentially compete with Lamar. I mentioned the trade talk or the trade speculation. Forget about that because Lamar Jackson was part of the head coaching process. He was on the virtual interviews with head coaching candidates. He was consulted for the offensive coordinator job, which went to Declan Doyle. Steve Bisciotti, the owner, loves him. Add all that up, and folks would be flabbergasted if the Ravens potentially moved on from Lamar Jackson.
Okay. So the question is, what in there is actually, like, relevant? The way that Mike Garafolo is saying it is if, like, there's no way that he's going to be traded. But remember, they said at the end, well, people will be flabbergasted if they did. The questions that I have about
Not Mike Florio.
Yeah. The question I have about that report is, one, why haven't they already been talking about the contract extension? What?
Like the Ravens or the
Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Why are we saying and they're going to start talking about it now?
Because they wanted to get their coach figured out, right? Like,
okay, but the coach has been figured out for weeks.
Well, I see only a week. Like that's
your
quarterback coach only 5 days.
Yeah, because you definitely can't talk to your quarterback until you've got your quarterback's coach nailed down. This is what makes this weird. Now, the answer might be they're so confident that it's getting done that when they talked to Lamar last, they were like, all right, the week after the Super Bowl, let's get together and we'll hammer this out. And hopefully,
they just lock themselves in a room.
Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully the reason why it's all being reported that way is because they are so confident that this is happening that there was no reason to panic. And that might very well be the case. But it's weird. If it was that close to being done, then why not just do it 2 weeks ago? And again, hopefully by the time we get to like Wednesday, they've got a deal done and I don't have to think about it ever again. But even that, which should be, that ends that. I don't know. Like, it's until this is done, I'm always going to wonder why it's taking so long. I do think it matters that Lamar Jackson was involved. Like, if he wanted out. But again, I've never thought that Lamar wanted out. I've never believed that. It's a completely different circumstance. It's more of a Ravens thing. Why isn't it done already? What is the hang-up? And again, maybe it's just the amount of time that it takes. That, like, we just need to spend a couple of days doing nothing other than this. Not thinking about coaches, not welcoming new people to the building, not getting them their key cards. We just need to spend 2 days where this is all we're talking about. Maybe it's as simple as that. But it just feels like something that, like, as soon as the season was over, you should have been able to say, okay, can we just knock this out so we don't have to think about it any longer?
Well, you didn't. You mean as soon as the Ravens season ended?
Yes.
So January.
If that was Lamar's argument, is that I'm not going to do this during the season. Well, it's been well over a month.
Mm. Well, and then it was
about over a month.
The entire coaching staff returns. That was
I understand
unforeseen. Like
kinda, yeah. You can say all those things. And again, maybe they said after Declan, they were like, all right, Lamar, now let's talk. And he said, I'm on vacation this week. I don't know. It could very well be explainable. This is not me doing a conspiracy theorist.
I mean, once we get to the combine and we hear Costa will speak. Yeah, Costa speaks at the combine. So, I mean, if it's not done by then and whatever he says, and it sounds very eerie, hopefully not,
Look, man, the combine is when you need to have it done by so that you can start
figuring out, whoever wants what
tampering.
Who you want.
That's
yeah.
So you can start tampering is the answer. You got to have it done by then. Again, I hope that all that is a sign that the Ravens are so confident it's gonna get done that.
So what do we got? 2 weeks.
We don't have to worry about it.
The combine.
All right. Let's get a tidbit.
Combine February 23rd.
That's 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks. Just get it done. Just get it done. That way we don't have to talk about it ever again. We don't have to make a whole thing out of it. Someone suggested to me I bring back the Lamar meter. Not happening.
The Lamometer?
Not happening. Not doing that. Tidbit is brought to you today by Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. You might have heard Live Casino and Hotel Maryland is giving away this month $1 million worth of free slot play.
Wow.
And you can win your share every Friday at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover.
Which one do we want to go with here? Jackson Smith and
Hang
Jigba.
on. Should we respond to anybody? John said
U2,
U2, Prince, Tom Petty, his favorite halftime shows. The Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige one is in the top 3. Love Tom Petty. I was there for Tom Petty. It was excellent. And the U2 one is unique because it was post 9/11 and it was specifically like a good moment because of that. They only did like 2 songs. I would listen to the argument for U2 to be in the top 5 because of the moment. I think Bruno Mars is a top 5 because people forget like how early on in his career that was and how we reacted like, what? This dude is doing halftime? Like, we barely know him. And that was his sort of like coming out party in a lot of ways where you're like, oh my God, this kid is special. Like, this kid is special. So I think Bruno Mars would be
Whenever
top.
he gets it again, he's gonna blow the doors off, blow the roof off.
I don't know.
Wherever he's at.
The last couple songs just have not done it for me the way.
Yeah,
that,
but he should just go back to he should just play the hits from
Yeah,
not like his most recent couple.
One of my
but,
favorite
like,
performances ever was him doing.
and he'll bring Lady Gaga out, just
him,
sing the same song she's
him doing Valerie after Amy Winehouse passed away. It was so good. That song is perfect. It's actually not an Amy Winehouse original. It was actually a cover of like some random band.
What's that band?
I can't even remember the name of the band. It was like a band that you would never.
I think it's called Some Random.
Yeah, Some Random Band. Exactly right. But I think Bruno Mars is top 5. Like to me, the 3 are unimpeachable as top 3, which are Prince and it's like Prince 1, and then Michael Jackson, and then the Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige one. And then we could talk about I think Bruno Mars and then U2 would probably be top 5 because of the U2 because of the circumstance, because it was post 9/11.
And I'm just too young, but also a victim of the moment. But I like Kendrick and The Weeknd. I keep coming back to The Weeknd.
The Weeknd is the one that most people like would argue.
I know, but I think, but like, I
list.
consider more the
you're talking about the circumstances and what you had to do during COVID and all that.
It, and it was COVID. So every time I look back on it, I'm like, that was actually a really great show.
Goofy, like it was kind of weird.
And I just like The Weeknd, I guess too.
I like The Weeknd too. That's the thing. I really do like The Weeknd, and I like his music. I just thought the show was weird. Like it was a weird show.
I remember feeling that in the time, and then like in the moment, and then every time I revisited it and thought about it more, I'm like, yeah,
the Kendrick show. The Kendrick show was very good. I could listen to an argument that Kendrick could you could argue him for top 5. I think the circumstances on the others make it difficult to argue. Like I say, the circumstances. The Snoop Dogg one was in L.A. Like that. That in L.A. was just so perfect.
So no one's putting Usher at the top of their list.
It was fine. I mean, it wasn't bad, but Usher, as I said, had the problem that like it was a carry. It was I will do 10 seconds of every song, so we can do 1,000 songs, and I'm never like that's never gonna be the I can't have that conversation.
And then Bad Bunny, yeah, forever.
And Bad Bunny right after that. Somebody said 70 million. Are they talking about what?
I think that must have been something about how much we should give Zach Allen. That's.
For how many years?
To make sure he comes here. Just 1 year.
1 year, 70 million? Is that what you're arguing?
It's the tax we got to pay.
What do you want to say, Colson? We were talking about U2. I just said they'd be in the top 5. Yeah, we said they'd be top 5. Yeah.
What's U2?
Yeah, right. Griffin's like, I don't know anything about U2. I don't know if he was alive for that Super Bowl. Yes, correct.
Yeah,
it was technically it was 2002. Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah, so I was like
barely
18 months
alive.
old.
Yes, correct. Barely alive when that occurred. No, I said I think that the show itself was only good. But the moment post 9/11 was so powerful that I think it stands as one of the most important halftime shows because of that. If you want to argue Kendrick versus Bruno Mars, I'd listen to that argument and like Kendrick could get into the top 5 over Bruno Mars. But I don't know, man. I think we're missing just how like forceful that Bruno Mars thing was, where we were like, dude, we were clowning this guy. Like we were clowning the idea of him being the halftime show. Like a stadium, Bruno Mars. Like we were talking about him like he was a guy that should be playing the 9:30 Club. And then
man, you imagine Bruno Mars in the 9:30?
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Anyway, sorry. What were we doing? Oh, yeah, it's $70 million. I don't know what it is. And John did buffalo chicken meatballs, and he said he didn't work out. All right, I'll give it a shot. See if I can't do something with that. I love a challenge.
You got to step up.
Who doesn't love a challenge? He wants me to try to make him, see if I can't figure out a way to do it. We are a meatball family. I have said there's very few things that the Clark family as a family believes in, but like in our soul, we believe in meatballs. Like any opportunity we have.
You believe in meat?
Just specifically meatballs.
Okay.
We like making meatballs. Like I can't get my kids to want to be involved in anything. But when I said yesterday it's time to make some meatballs, here they are. Let's go. We're making meatballs. I don't know what it is. There's something. They use the word satisfying a lot. I don't know if that's a young person thing.
The ball.
Like there's something like they'll be like, dude, it's really satisfying. Like as they're like, and they get to make ball jokes and they like that. Like that's the whole time they're doing ball shtick. So it's good. Like we couldn't be having more fun. Then my jacket or my coat today smells like the smoker, and then I'm like, man, makes me happy. It's that thing where you smoke a cigar and the next day you forgot that you didn't put on like a different jacket, and so you go to put your pea coat on, and you're like, oh, like I don't really want to still be like, I don't want everyone to get my cigar tomorrow, like. But the smoker, you don't mind that when the smoker seeps into your, that's good. That's good. It's like the day after Father's Day when your car smells like crabs. And you're like, I want this smell forever. Like, I want my car to smell like this every day for the rest of my life. But you associate it with the day after Father's Day and the crabs that you picked up the day before. You were doing something?
I think so. I was going to try. Mike Macdonald became the third coach to join a list of coaches that have led the top-ranked scoring defense as a coordinator, top-ranked scoring defense as a head coach, and won a Super Bowl as a head coach.
How about that? The others were, how many did you say, 3?
Yeah, 3 total. So
3 total. Top.
Others.
Well, okay, so this should be a small group because it's got to be a defensive, because you said top
defense as a coordinator, top defense as a head coach.
Yep. So it can't be like a Brian Billick who, like, it has to be somebody who was a defensive coordinator. So who are defensive guys that have won Super Bowls? So how about... Boy, that's actually... How about... Man, I'm struggling to just name defensive guys that were Super Bowl winning coaches. Belichick.
Belichick is.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's...
Them.
How about... There's only one other one.
Yep, only one other one.
Like, I'm literally going through the list, and I'm like, that guy was an offensive guy. That guy was an offensive guy.
Got to go back pretty far for...
Got to go back pretty far.
At least for when he's his coordinator, because he spent a lot of time in one place as a head coach.
Spent a lot of time in one place as a head coach. Spent a lot of time in one place as a head coach. So you got to go back really far to when he was a coordinator. Is it Mike Tomlin?
No, much further back.
Much further back. Is it Bill Cowher?
Yeah, I mean, you're on the right track. Much further, a little bit further back than that. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm on the right track. Chuck Noll?
Chuck Noll, yes.
Noll.
Yeah, because you got the franchise,
just
right?
keep naming Steelers.
Yeah. With the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Colts. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that Chuck Noll was the defense coordinator for the Colts. I completely forgot about that.
And then obviously 23 years as the Steelers head coach. But yes,
wild.
Chuck Noll, Belichick, and Mike Macdonald.
How about that? Very good. Let's get tubular. Tubular is brought to you by the print issue of Press Box. Final week for this print issue, and then we'll be moving on to a new issue next week. Go get this, the best of issue, right now at your Baltimore area High's dairy stores. Read it all at PressBoxOnline.com. Here's what's coming up totally tubular-wise. The curling, a little bit of trouble. Italy up 4-2 over the U.S. in the curling semifinals. This is the mixed doubles curling. That's on Peacock right now. Still to come today, USA-Switzerland women's ice hockey at 2:40. That's on USA. Tonight, Navy takes on Bucknell. Navy's probably the best chance of anybody in the state making the NCAA tournament. That's 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Congratulations to Maryland. Won another game.
Busted by parlay.
Oh, yeah?
I did a money line parlay, had Minnesota.
Oh, boy. What kind of bad person are you?
I'm a person trying to make money here,
There's got to be a way to get Diggy Coit back for what would he be, the 7th year at this point? There's got to be a way.
I know that's what we were. I turned the game on because we weren't doing anything, and I'm like, oh, of course, that's the one guy that definitively.
I did not turn the game on until literally they were down by 2 with 40 seconds left.
I watched like the fast.
And I think the game was on, but my kids were watching it. Gotcha. I was putting the meatballs on the smoker and doing some other things, and I walked back in. I'm like, "It's game over," and they're like, "No," and they got a chance. They've got the ball. And I'm like, "All right, I'll watch it." So I did see it. All right, non-sports wise.
No.
Okay, everything else, GlennClarkRadio.com.
Survivor's doing a thing all week where they're just showing like highlights of like great seasons. So 8 o'clock on CBS.
Just punting.
We're doing fans versus favorites tonight.
We're just punting.
Wait, who's punting? What?
The world. We're just punting on television for a little while.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, American Idol.
Watch if you have not watched the Mel Brooks documentary. Oh my God, I did not know it was 4 hours. I don't think you mentioned that to me when you brought it up.
You're welcome. Or sorry.
Sat down and started it on Saturday night, and then I could not. I don't think I got to bed till 1:30 in the morning because I had to watch. It was so good. I mean, literally 4 hours, and there's maybe like 1 minute of useless content in the entire 4 hours. For some reason, they interviewed Ronnie Chang, who I like.
Who was Ronnie Chang?
But, like, had nothing. He's from The Daily Show. Oh. He just had nothing to offer. But, like, I guess they felt bad and didn't want it. Like, they asked him to, and so they had to put something in. But literally, everything else was, it was wonderful. I know Judd Apatow and I are mortal enemies from that the dust-up that we had back in 2020.
Hey, just hate each other.
I just love Judd Apatow. He's made, like, most of my favorite movies of all time. Judd, bless you. I was really bummed to find out he wasn't on Twitter because, like, he responded. The last time I tweeted to Judd Apatow, he responded very quickly. Bless you. Thank you. This was marvelous. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that when the Super Bowl was over last night, I was going to watch Blazing Saddles again.
Oh, I thought you were going to rewatch the doc.
No, but I, like, started it, and then I remembered, like, I want to go to bed. But that's how much I love the Mel Brooks documentary. Bless you. That was awesome. Just awesome, man. One of the best things I've seen in years. You're the man, Judd Apatow. Thank you for that. Because he probably watches.
Right. Yeah.
Being that we're old frenemies.
Put up the bat signal for Judd
right.
Apatow.
God, it was incredible. Watch it.
Yeah, that's it. The Peacock has a show called The Burbs as well with.
They actually debuted that last night.
All right, yeah, you're right.
It's an old Tom Hanks movie. And Paula Pell's involved in it.
Yes.
So I will, and I like Paula Pell. And she's the type of person that, like, elevates everything that she's involved with. So it doesn't look good.
What should I know her from?
Girls 5 Ever.
So nothing.
You didn't watch Girls 5 Ever? Girls 5 Ever was phenomenal. It was an excellent
show. Okay.
Yes, it was wonderful. She's also popped up in like a million things for like a minute. Like, she'll show up.
AP Bio.
Like, she's a nurse in that the Dying for Sex show that was on FX.
Gotcha.
She's a nurse in it, and she's great, like, in that role. Yeah, she was definitely. She was a main character in AP Bio, and was wonderful. She was delightful. I think she was a secretary, or maybe the vice principal. But, like, she'll randomly show up in, like, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and stuff like that. Paula Pell is awesome. She's a 10. So I'll look at it because of that, but it does not look good overall.
Oh, that's what I should have known her from. Inside Out. She is Mom's.
Oh, yeah.
She's Mom's anger emotion.
Yeah, that's right. She is 100%. All right, very good. Everything else, GlennClarkRadio.com. Thanks today to Qadry Ismail and to Mike Bordick. We'll get it up in the greatest hits section of the
Jelly Roll. He'll be on Kimmel tonight.
Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Sure.
Talking politics, I assume.
I imagine. Anything?
No.
Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Volo Sports, Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, Nick's Fish House, Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores, 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org, the Costas Inn, countysports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Did I cut myself shaving? I feel like I'm...
You mean examine you?
Or do I just have, like, barbecue sauce in my chin somehow? I'm pulling something off my chin. It could be barbecue sauce. There was a lot of cheese. There was a lot of that. Might be. I don't know. Have a great Monday night. Go USA. Go Navy basketball. Duke sucks.